Council regular session, February 21st, 2022, 6 o'clock p.m. City Municipal Building, 101 North Main Street. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Janet, take the roll call, please.
Alderpersons Brooms.
Here.
Hanson.
Here.
Heitman.
Here.
Plum.
Here.
Scott.
Here.
Wade.
Yes.
Mayor Wilson.
Here.
Chief Olin. Street Superintendent Person.
Here. Okay, thank you, Janet. Approval or correction of minutes for the regular session held on February 7th, 2022.
Make a motion to approve minutes for the regular session held on February 7th, 2022.
I'll second.
Okay, any questions or comments? Okay, Janet, take the roll, please.
Heitman.
Yes.
Plum.
Yes.
Scott.
Yes.
Wade.
Yes.
Brooms.
Yes.
Hanson.
Yes.
Thank you, Janet. Motion's passed. Citizen communications, citizen comment. Susan canceled her meeting here tonight from Badgerland Disposal / RS Recycles, so there are no petitions. We have reported standing committees. Personnel Committee, Lauren Heitman.
Just to report that the committee is looking into the organizational structure of the Public Works Department, and Street Superintendent Kirsten Moore will be giving us a presentation at a later date.
Okay, thank you, Lauren. Report of city officers, mayor. The auditors from Johnson Block were here last week to start the 2021 audit. They were given the majority of requested items, and the few items outstanding will be sent this week. They anticipate the completion of the 2021 financial statement in June. As discussed in finance, we need to replace the network server. This has been being budgeted over the years in the capital budget. And I'd just like to remind everyone that city ordinance for street parking in the winter time is in effect through April 15th. So you park accordingly on the street according to the odd or even side of the road on a date that corresponds with the date. And I believe that's from midnight to 8 a.m. So it will help if we get a lot of snow to keep our streets safe and clear. Okay, that's about all that I have. Okay, police department update, Chief Olin.
Just one, thinking about that with the alternate street parking, we went through and issued some warnings, and now we've transitioned into citations. So we have a handful of citations out there for the alternate street parking violations. So you're not watching where you're parking on the street, there's a little envelope in your window. That's what you need to pay that within 72 hours, otherwise there's another $10 surcharge that goes out of that. And then we sent out a warning notice. We sent 2 letters for warnings if that doesn't get paid, and then after that it goes to the state to suspend the registration for the vehicle until that is paid. We're moving along with
update, street superintendent Personnel.
Just to follow up on what Sam was saying about the alternate parking, what some folks don't understand out there is it doesn't always have to be snowing or that's every day during a period of time that those are still in effect. And one of the main reasons is it helps us with cleanup. So we might be able to go through and plow on one day, and if it's, even though it's not done snowing, if they then move to the other side, then we can go back out and get that other side cleaned up. So it is important to follow that, even if it's not snowing out or done snowing, because we do plan projects kind of around that alternate parking also. So yeah, we've got a bunch of things to update here. Out at the wastewater treatment plant, we've upgraded our ferrochemical pump for the treatment of the wastewater. We've also replaced a sensor in our oxidation ditch. We've been working on some small maintenance items throughout the winter. Plant seems to be running fine. Brian's doing what he has to do with weather changes out there to keep the plant running good. Just starting to prep for spring. We'll be doing another ditch clean out there this spring. We cleaned out one of the ditches last year, and we'll be cleaning out the other oxidation ditch this spring. So that's the first time either one of those have been emptied and cleaned out in 20 years. So hopefully once that process is done, that will help the plant run more efficiently. On the water side, most of you know our well 4 here in town has been down we took it out of service about a month and a half ago for a leaky valve. It was scheduled to go down anyway, so it worked into for routine maintenance. So the well was pulled out completely. The motor and the pump were taken back to CTW, who then tore it apart, cleaned it up, put it back together, checked all the tolerances. In my conversations with them, no major issues with what they found in the well, just random maintenance, cleaning and maintenance. So, but along with that leaky valve has been replaced as part of that project, and also an upgrade to our VFD, which is a variable frequency drive, which allows the well motor to start up at a slower speed and then kick in and slowly ramp up. We did get a save on energy credit for doing that. It's more energy efficient. I don't have the exact dollar figures in there, but we were reimbursed a portion of putting that in. And that was required to be put in as part of the new valve, that leaky valve that was replaced. So that's all been done. The well's put back. The only thing we're waiting for is decent weather so we can flush the well now. So they'll turn the pump on and we'll flush it out into the storm sewer, make sure anything settled is out of there, and then once that's done, we'll chlorinate it and sample it, and then it'll be put back online. So everything's back in place, ready to go. We're just waiting for weather so we can flush that out, put back online. The guys have been, they've dealt with some freeze-ups, some meters and pipes in people's houses. I just want to remind people that even though once it starts warming up, it's still those crawl spaces and basements that as the frost pushes out of the ground, you can still have freeze-ups. So pay attention to your meter and the temperature around your water pipes. Winter weather, we're planning on being out early tomorrow morning, so we're prepared. We're set with all of our machines are running well, and knock on wood, so far so good. We've got material enough to last us plenty. The crews have also been working on Juno Street. If you've driven down Juno Street on the west side, we've worked with the landowners. We've cleared out the trees that have grown out to the road and the right of way, and then worked with the landowners to catch anything that was hanging over the road or anything dead that might fall into the road. It's allowed for the sun to hit the road during the winter, which helps it thaw out and clear up faster. Plus, with the amount of deer that run through there now, you've got a chance to see them before they're in the road. Also, Burkmore's Park, we've been removing a lot of the ash trees out of there. From the DNR wants all the ash trees in the city gone from the Emerald shop, doing vehicle maintenance, equipment maintenance. They, organize the shop. This year they put a brand new box and bed on truck number 45, which was a metal box on that, and I'll have pictures here in the future. They used pretty much everything we had on hand, boards, the metal for the bed, except for a couple of steel pieces they bought. So it's got a brand new box on the back. The other one was rusted out completely. The guys also fabricated a patch heater. So basically a box that goes in the trailer hitch of the 1 ton, so we can put patch on that and then put a heater blower on the inside of that. So during the winter, it helps obviously keeping the patch more malleable to put into the potholes. Plus during the summer, when you put in warm patch, it sticks better. So, and that was all on stuff pretty much we had on hand here in the shop. So hopefully that'll help our patching process. The one thing the guys did mention to me in regards to when they were over cutting trees at Burt Morris Park is people are not cleaning up after their dogs, and as the snow melts, that's all they can see. We have an ordinance against that. It's if you do have your dog over there, they need to be under your control, I believe. And you do need to clean up after that. That is a public park, not just for the dogs to run around. So please clean up after your dog in the park. The kids will be out there in full force. If you haven't already seen the new basketball court, it was used a lot after it went in. So that's the last that thing I'm sure parents and kids want to deal with is that. Also this Wednesday, there'll be an ad in the paper first for a new full-time position created at the Public Works Department. So that's going in the paper this Wednesday, and will run for 3 weeks in the paper with applications due back on the 14th. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Street Superintendent Chris Miller. New business action. Item number 1. Server backup, server licenses. They talked about having finance.
Okay. Make a motion to not exceed $20,000 and to continue the research into possible server options and also backup server and licenses.
I'll second that.
Okay, any questions? Janet, take the vote, please.
Plum,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Wade,
Yes.
Rooms,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
Heitman.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Janet. Motion passed. Item number 2. Issuance of fermented malt beverage and intoxicating liquor license and cigarette license, Medford Cooperative Incorporated.
Okay, I make a motion for the issuance of fermented malt beverage and intoxicating liquor license and cigarette license from Medford Cooperative Incorporated. So second it.
Okay, any questions? Janet, take the vote, please.
Scott,
Yes.
Wade,
Yes.
Rooms,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
Heitman,
Yes.
Plum.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Janet. Motion passed. Item number 3, issuance of temporary Class B special picnic license, Knights of Columbus corned beef and cabbage dinner.
Make a motion for the issuance of the temporary Class B special license for the Knights of Columbus.
I'll second it.
Any questions? Janet, take the vote, please.
Wade,
Yes.
Rooms,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
Heitman,
Yes.
Plum,
Yes.
Scott.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Janet. Motion passed. Item number 4, payment of bills.
Make a motion to pay the bills.
I'll second it.
Okay, any questions?
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
Heitman,
Yes.
Plum,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Wade.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Janet. Motion passed. Last item, adjournment of the meeting.